So I haven't made a video in a long time, and yes, I know my hair is like just woke up not that long ago. A lot of people I know are afraid to start their spiritual journey, and I get it. A lot of people have either had gifts and abilities since they were children and have been discriminated against for it, or judged for being different. So, basically what I'm trying to say is ever since I fully embraced mine, I'm turning 36, 37, almost going to be 38. So I would say 3 to 4 years, because I believe I started when I was 35, when everything started to pick up. The world is going to look very different to you, very different, and you're going to start to notice things in different perspectives. First of all, the first layer you're going to peel back is that not everything is what it seems. You'll start noticing the grid, the matrix, the format, what's real, what's not real, the energies, the frequencies. You will see those things. And a lot of people get freaked out when they get scared and they're like, "Oh, I don't want to do this." It's worth it. Because a lot of people don't realize once you start to see these things unravel, then you know which people to stay away from. You know which energies to stay away from. So a lot of people are like, "Oh, this is scary. This is not." No. It literally teaches your brain to be like, "Oh, that person is giving off this energy, that energy, not good. This person bad, that person good. This person bad, that person." Like, it literally trains your brain to see things for what they are, so you can learn how to better protect yourself. Okay? A lot of people get scared and freaked out. Like, I used to be afraid of facing my shadow self, facing my past and everything else. But now that I've seen my past, my traumas, my mistakes, other people's mistakes, certain lessons and teachings, it doesn't affect me like it used to. Because now I see why I went through those certain things in my life was to teach me or to show me what type of person I didn't want to be. So whether it was good or whether it was bad, whether it was traumatizing, now I get it. Now I understand why we go through these certain things. And some of us are too busy blaming everybody else, and some of us are busy blaming God. Some of us are busy just like pissed off and mad at the world. But when you actually step back and you look at it and you're like, I told myself one day, I was like, if I hadn't gone through certain things in my life, if I hadn't gone through it, would I still be the same person I am today? Would I have made either the mistakes or the choices that I'm making today that have made me the person that I am today? And I thought about it and I was like, probably not. Probably not. And I was like, wow, everything I went through, whether it was good or bad, shaped me into who I am today. And I wouldn't trade that. I would not trade the person that I am today for anything. Because I'm a good motherfucking person. Regardless of what I've been through. Some of the things I've been through, other people have not made it out of it. Some people ended their lives because of it. And it's sad. And sometimes when we take things for granted and we're just like, oh, da da da, but then we got to sit back and we got to look like, hey, some people didn't make it to where you were. Some people didn't make it past that. Some people are numbing themselves with drugs and certain things. I mean, nothing against anybody who's dealing with these situations, because I've seen so many people pull themselves out of those situations and out of that were suicidal, that went through certain things, that pulled themselves out of that and realized how strong they were. So, what I'm trying to say is whether you've gone through those things or you didn't, but you saw other people go through those things and you decided to rip yourself away from that and keep going, still makes you a strong ass person. Still, just like them, anybody that can pull themselves out of addiction, out of suicidal tendencies, out of trauma, out of things that were sent to break them, to pull themselves out of that, that is a badass thing to do, because a lot of people don't. And a lot of people sit there going through life and going through struggles, and they don't realize it. They don't realize how strong they are. They still continue to listen to what other people say, calling them a failure, calling them this, calling them that, saying these horrible, nasty things to them, but they don't realize how far they've come in life. And the thing for me is, going through my spiritual journey helped me realize a lot of that. I used to be a pissed off kid. I used to be mad at the world. I didn't understand why these things happened to me, but now I do. Now I get it. Now I understand. Everybody talks about, oh, the spiritual thing, it's evil, it's all woo-woo, it's all delusional stuff. I am so grateful, after being a kid since I was 7 years old and having gifts and abilities, to finally being an adult and going on my spiritual journey and embracing all of this, that I now know what I know now. I wish I would have done this sooner, but everything happens in divine timing and everything happens right when it should. And people seem to think that going through your spiritual journey is all dark and gloomy and horrible, but it's not. I mean, I've seen ghosts, light, dark things since I was a kid. But now that I face both sides of it, I've seen the light, I've seen the dark, I've seen all the aspects of myself, even my past lives, that I'm not afraid of it anymore. I'm not even, like, sometimes I'll see maybe a shadow thing here, a shadow thing there, but at first it's like an instant, like, what the heck was that? But now when I start to understand what it is, instead of just automatically letting fear or, not knowing what it was from the, not having an understanding of it, scare me. Now I do. Now I understand it. So it doesn't scare me as much anymore. It really doesn't. I'm just like, oh, you're a this and this and that. And oh, you're da 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 da. And now I understand. Now I can tell if it's good energy or bad energy. Not all dark things are evil. Not all light things are good. And that's because I chose to go through this. You understand? People think going through this is just like setting yourself up. No. You are a spiritual being. So going on a spiritual journey is what wakes you up. It wakes up your gifts, your intuition, your abilities. So now when you have a better understanding of the world, the people, the energies, the frequencies around you, it doesn't affect you as much as it used to when you had no clue what it was, or you were going off of what society was telling you or the matrix systems telling you. Oh, that's bad, that's evil, that's bad, that's evil. Once you start thinking for yourself, once you start learning about it, you'll understand that either things have been twisted around or just misunderstood, and people aren't taking the time to understand it, or people aren't taking the time to actually learn. People are too afraid. Some people are happy being in their little matrix bubble and don't want to think about anything outside. I mean, if that's what works for you, then fine. But I'm telling you, when I turned 36, that's when I started seeing the numbers and the codes. And people are like, oh, math is useless, mathematical things. Like, no. When you mix mathematical things with numbers, with spirituality, you will start to understand why your birthday is the way your birthday is, why those numbers are set the way that your numbers are, why you're seeing certain ones throughout the day. People don't seem to understand this is a matrix code system. So when your guardians and your ancestors and your angels are trying to communicate with you, they do it through numbers. They do it through code. They do it through frequencies, through sounds, through energies. So when you're ignoring these things, you're not getting the message. You get what I mean? So when people start to say these things are all, they're all delusional, blah, 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 you're not hearing it. Your loved one could literally be communicating with you with that bird, with that number, with that symbol, with this, with that, and you wouldn't even know because you're ignoring it. I've had numbers turning 36, moving to 3 points, 369. The number 3 has always been a big number. The number 4 has always been a big number. The number 8, the number 9, a couple of numbers in my life have been big numbers. And now I know why. Now I know why. Certain numbers and certain things, certain energies, certain frequencies, certain colors. Now I know why, as a 12, 13-year-old kid, why I was so obsessed with the Egyptian things. Because I have an Egyptian past life. Why I was so obsessed with the Olympians and the gods and all these magical things. Why I was so obsessed with these things growing up, even at a young age, because of my past lives. Even people are like, oh, these gods and these goddesses are all God, or, you know, whatever you believe in. You don't seem to understand that you actually have past lives or connections to these people. Like Hecate, I have a huge connection to her. Also finding out that her cousins are Apollo and Artemis. Huge connections to them. Magic, Psychopumps, Santa Muerte, the Grim Reaper, all these things I ended up finding out I either had past lives in or huge connections with. So when we sit here and we worship other gods or we do certain things, we're just thinking, oh, we're just worshiping them. No, honey. These beings, these energies are attracted to you, or you're attracted to them because you have a connection to them. Part of your past life, part of your lineage, part of your bloodline. Like, when you have your spiritual journey and you start to see all these things, it will freak you out. Yes, it is freaky. But then it also makes you go, holy shit. Is that why I have this? Is that why I have that? It's an eye-opener. And then you start to see yourself differently, and you start to see life around you way differently. Like, I was told in one of my spiritual sessions and tarot readings that I had a connection to Yeshua. And I was like, huh, okay, whatever. My middle name is Ruth. My middle name is Ruth. Okay? And at work one day, because, like I said, ever since I started my spiritual journey, things, clues, puzzles, numbers always pop right into my face. So I was working for a printer press that was making books, okay? Random books. Different titles, different subjects, just random books. And one day I picked up a book and it had Ruth on it, the story of it. And the story of her and her having a kid and her lineage and finding out she had the connection to David, which also had the connection to the lineage and bloodline of Yeshua. And that's when I started having the visions and the dreams. And I was like, wow. Wow. Now I know where my connection to him was. I was part of his family. I am Ruth. I am Ruth. And right now in my life is playing out exactly what happened to her. Losing everything. Having a reset. Being back with family that wasn't really her family. Starting over again. I'm literally living out Ruth's story right now. So, yes, it can be scary. Yes, it can be confusing. Yes, it can be creepy. But it's amazing to see that you yourself is magical. You yourself, your life is pure magic. And I don't think we notice that enough. I think we're too busy working the 9 to 5 and doing all these things that we don't realize how magical our lives are. And that magic is around us every single day. And people say magic is evil. It's a beautiful thing to have. And it's a beautiful thing to go through when you have your spiritual awakening. Your spiritual awakening isn't just tarot cards. No offense to anybody that reads tarot, but it's not just tarot cards. It's just not spirit rods. It's just not speaking to the dead. It's not just those things. It's you finding you. You going inside yourself. You realizing who you are. You tapping into your own gifts, your own abilities, your own dreams. You experiencing these things. You having these interactions with your guides, your angels, your ancestors. You coming back home into yourself. Not only seeing the clues on the outside and all these things physically pop into your face, but also experiencing all the changes and magic inside of you. No, like they say, so above, so as below, so within, so without. It's amazing. And I know a lot of people are afraid of it and they're scared of it, but it's just like, dude, this is so worth it. It is so worth it. Because once you let go of things, once you realize, why am I holding on to these things that are not aligned with my future? You gotta let those things go. I know it sucks to let people go. People, places, and things. It sucks because you're so used to it. You're in love with it. It's hard to let go of things. But once you learn that, hey, my life, my goals, my future, my story has already been set. Your story is already set in stone. The only person that's delaying their blessings is you. It's you. Because you're choosing to stay in places you're not supposed to be in. You're choosing to be in situations that don't align with you. So when you see people, oh my gosh, I had to let go of that relationship, or oh my gosh, I had to quit my job, or oh my gosh, I had to let it go. It's not meant for you for a reason. The universe is not your enemy. The universe is helping you. Your ancestors, your guides, whatever you believe in, whether it's other gods, whether it's Yahweh, whether it's Allah, Muhammad, whatever you believe in, just know that they're looking out for you. They're not your enemy. That relationship wasn't supposed to work out. for a reason. You weren't meant to stay with those friends. You weren't meant to stay with your mom and your family because of those situations and those generational cycles that you needed to break. Everything happens for a reason, guys. You just gotta let them go. You gotta let it go. You gotta trust the universe. You got to understand that the universe knows your story. The universe wrote your story. What I mean by universe is like Yeshua, the source, the creator, the universe. You are part of the universe. The universe is inside you. You create universes literally in your brain. You create your surroundings. You manifest those things. You gotta if you're going to trust, you gotta learn to trust yourself and trust the universe and the inner God inside of you. That's why he said, I am in you and all around you. But you gotta start in order to see the different perspective outside. Because if all you're doing is looking outside yourself, you're not gonna get it. All you're gonna see is distortion, and you're not gonna get a full picture. That's why spiritual journeys, that's what they do. They help you go within so you can see clearly out. So your vision gets better. And I'm not talking about just with these eyes, I'm talking about with this eye. If this eye is closed, yeah, these eyes aren't going to do very well for you. I mean, maybe if you're a good judgment of character, but sometimes you need this eye to be open to really see people for who they are. To see the world around you for what it really is. So, I'm just saying, if you haven't done your spiritual journey yet, I would definitely recommend it because it is going to change your life for the better. Other people you might hear, oh, it ruined my life. How did it ruin your life? Because you didn't want to let go of things that were bad for you? Yeah. You cannot ask for change and stay the same. That's not the way it works. Trust the universe. Trust yourself. Go in so you can get a better vision of this illusion around you. So you can see people for who they are. So you can protect yourself better. So you can see this world for what it really is. Trust me, you will feel so much better. And your vision will get so much clearer.